I really don't know what to title this video, to be honest. When I got caught with this article, I was dying of laughter. It's probably one of the funniest articles that I have ever read in this year. So, you all know about Gamergate, right? You all heard about how the gaming press calls gamers misogynistic and women haters, want to drive women out of gaming. Well, take that and now apply it to porn. I am not kidding.
This director fights the objectification of women with female-friendly porn.
I'm trying my hardest to contain my laughter. This article is the funniest thing that I've ever read in my entire life. The first few paragraphs will kill you, so be warned.
Porn is perhaps one of the biggest all-consuming conversation dividers of our age. Is it bad, good, healthy, distancing, dangerous, artistic, cheap, domineering, expressive, or all of the above? Get a room of varying men and women together to discuss it, and it will invariably end in an explosive polemical rant.
Well, we have a lot of opinions on porn, but if there's one thing that we can say is that it's definitely boner-inducing and it gets people wet.
It goes on without saying that mainstream porn has come under fire for misrepresentation and misogyny for years now. But
You think that's bad? You think that's bad? But we're not done yet. I'm just cutting you off. Continue.
It goes on without saying that mainstream porn has come under fire for misrepresentation and misogyny for years now. But is the increasing indie porn being produced going to elevate the status and reimagine the entire industry within this generation?
It sounded so like Gamergate. Oh my god. So, let's talk a little bit about porn and misogyny. There's a rather interesting Reddit thread that I found which basically asks the simple question,
straight females watch porn? What do you search for most?
The answers are varying, and for some of you people, it might be very surprising. The most top answer is amateur porn, and I can relate to that. I don't really like fake porn, to be honest. Maybe some find joy in those, but when they over-exaggerate things, it really doesn't turn me on. It feels like a caricature. The more realistic and amateur the porn is, the better. One answers male sucking natural big tits. One answers bondage, forced orgasm, and after googling gangbang, she got really horny. Women masturbating, fucking machine videos going 100 miles per hour, domination, light teasing / torture, anything that involves tickling, spanking, forced orgasms, being tied up and helpless. So some women are getting turned on with incredibly unusual porn, and I already did a video on this covering up that Vice article of how women are searching for really violent porns of gangbangs and BDSMs. I'm still struggling to understand the misogyny part. The misrepresentation part I can understand. Some parts, well, a lot of parts in porn are definitely unrealistic, but the misogyny? In a lot of ways, women get really turned on with misogynistic porn. Porn that demeans them and puts them in the submissive one for the man to just absolutely ruin and fuck. I don't know, women enjoy that. And don't worry, guys enjoy them too. Guys also enjoy being ruined and being absolutely fucked. I love porns that consist of men being dominated or gangbanged by women, or porn of men getting tied up while the dominant women do their thing, especially teasing the cock and ruin the orgasm in the last fucking minute. Shock of all shock, men love to be the submissive ones too. Porn is one of the most surprising, eye-opening things of mankind. It just goes to show to us that every human being on planet Earth has the nastiest and nastiest of desires just to make their dicks hard or their pussies wet. And that includes demeaning themselves from a human being into an object to be dominated by another person. I would love to turn myself into a doormat with a really hot redhead stomping me in every single part of my body. By the way, Mila, you are absolutely welcome to do so. And by the way, I want to give this really weird shout out to Tekken 7. That blue hat might be just a typical blue hat, but a red hat? No. That can't be a fucking coincidence.
Across Europe and North America, a host of young directors and writers are producing porn with a fresh perspective. Porn that empowers women rather than debasing them.
Jesus Christ. You must have a pretty damn boring taste of porn. Diversify yourself a bit, please. Maybe watch some of the female domination porn or gangbang porns just to see whether or not you're comfortable with it. One that preferably ends up with a bukkake.
Focusing on the female preference for detailed storytelling, character details, and plot lines, rather than quick visual.
I'm sorry. I can't. That has got to be one of the most boring design choice for porn I've seen. Women, I'm gonna ask you this. When you watch porn, do you really give a fuck about the storyline? Who gives a fuck? Holy shit. A porn with story and plot lines, except this time they're being serious. They took the, oh, I'm watching porn just for the plot way too seriously. I mean, I just can't see the appeal. Hentais have absolutely garbage, arbitrary storylines that connect to one another, but it's not the story that people praise hentais for, it's the freaking hentai scenes. My god, if this is feminist porn and feminists are taking over the world, I wouldn't even watch it.
One such director is acclaimed filmmaker Erika Lust, a Swede based in California. Erika Lust is an independent filmmaker who believes that lovemaking is the highest form of art. She was drawn to the industry when she saw a gap in the market that needed to be filled. No pun intended.
Ha 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 ha. Although I agree with her that lovemaking is the highest form of art, it's very controversial and it got banned almost everywhere.
I shot my first movie, The Good Girl, in 2004 when I had to create a final short for the film direction course I was doing in Barcelona. It was a humorous statement of principles based on the classic pizza guy porn. Having grown up in Sweden, I was well aware of the conversation about feminism and pornography, having studied political sciences as well. Naturally, I had been involved in debates about the representation of women and the power struggle in movies, so I had always been disappointed by the mainstream porn I watched.
Hashtag PORNGATE. What the fuck am I reading? So you're gonna somehow insert feminism in porn, like the fact that women watch porn and fap to it isn't enough somehow. You need to make them more feminist and empowering, which is a rather weird word. I watch porn and it does make me feel empowered, even if the sorts of porn I watch are female dominations porn. It does get me off, and some people gets off being dominated. They're empowered by domination. Roll credits. But seriously, if you're making porn for women to enjoy, you need to understand what women enjoy. And from what I've seen, making porn with a serious, empowering storyline is boring. Skip the foreplay and go straight to business. Fucking hell.
Yet many fear that in film genre so strongly associated with objectification, there's little hope for female empowerment, and the only result of wading in those waters is to be tainted.
Jesus Christ. Define empowerment. I don't get where you're coming from here. What is empowering to you? Have you asked women what do they think is empowering in porn? Can you please describe to me what the elements that makes porn empowering? Also, you can complain about objectification of women in video games all you want, but porn is all about objectification. In fact, people are willing to objectify themselves for porn, both men and women. It's all about sexual desires, and you can't achieve that without turning yourself into a sexual object of desire for someone. It's the entire freaking point. And some people, I would argue a lot of people, feel empowerment for objectifying themselves, both for submission or dominance. Good God, I'm a 19-year-old kid who has never experienced sex. How can I tell that what you're saying here is wrong?
Porn, just as it is for men, is a way for women to explore their sexual desires, kinks, and pleasures. It is a way to sexually liberate themselves and enjoy their sexuality with no doubts or worries. Let's not forget that through female involvement in porn, women can regain power of the decision over the content they feel aroused and identify with.
Listen, you dummy. In porn, not all forms of empowerment comes from dominance. Some form of empowerment comes from submission. The goal and intent for porn is to feel sexual desires, and it turns out some people have incredibly weird ways of filling in their sexual desires. If you get off from porn that has a storyline and romance, go ahead. It's just that, in my opinion, your taste is very boring.
Irish sexologist Emily Powers-Smith recognizes the serious need for real representation in a male-dominated sexual form such as porn. She believes that porn is just not a form of entertainment, but a form of education that exercises significant influence on society.
Jesus fucking Christ. I wish I was joking about PORNGATE. They're literally doing the same thing that they're gonna do in video games, or that they did in video games. Video games need more representation in this male-dominated space. Porn also need more representation in this male-dominated space. Except it makes even less sense in porn because both genders and so many people in so many races have been represented in any porn genre. What are you talking about? What do you mean, real representation?
While using porn as a learning tool has historically been a more male practice, increasing numbers of women are turning to porn for education due to the internet. Studies show that children and young people of all genders watch porn for education, but they may wish to learn different things. For example, males watch porn to learn what to do, and females watch porn to learn how to look and act.
Or, porn is a tool for people to fap onto. Do you really need any studies for this? Or maybe by learning, you mean they watch porn for academic purposes. It's for fapping, guys. Jesus Christ, stop overcomplicating things.
This may be in part due to how males and females are depicted in mainstream porn, with the emphasis being on what the male is doing with his big hard penis to the woman and how the woman is reacting to said phallus. Her job is to be visually pleasing in order to arouse him. He will then do things to her in order to sexually satisfy himself. Her satisfaction is derived from his pleasure and orgasm or ejaculation rather than her own. The scenario gets played out in many ways within mainstream porn, but the message is the same. Women should look sexy and available, and men should be hard and in charge.
Well, that's an overgeneralization. What about gangbang porns or female domination porns? This only goes to the genre of the mainstream vanilla porn that are boring, and not a lot of people watch that because they're boring and vanilla. They always want to discover porn and find out their niches and turn-ons and kinks. That's one of the main appeals of porn. Why do I have to talk about this?
In her professional encounters with clients as a therapist and a coach, Emily Power-Smith has noticed that many of her clients need clarification around the reality of porn. She tells me that basing expectations on standards set by porn is increasingly causing body issues, performance anxiety, erectile difficulties, and problems with orgasms.
What? Even a virgin like me knows that porn is fake. Even some amateur porns can be fake. How can people be that stupid?
In other words, the disparity between real-life experiences and mainstream porn is damaging to us all. Watching mainstream porn and thinking you know how to be sexual in real life is as useful as watching The Fast and the Furious and thinking you are now ready to take the roads in a high-speed chase.
Thanks, Captain Obvious? I'm genuinely shocked that people still have this mindset. What, you think that after delivering your pizza, the girl would definitely bang you? You kidding me?
The prevalence of relatable porn produced by increasing numbers of directors across the world means people are beginning to demand more fulfilling experience and more ethical porn with real people having real orgasms.
A more ethical porn? With real people having real orgasms? You mean amateur porn? That exists, and it's one of the most popular genres in porn. Homemade porns also exist. Are we missing something here? I love how you say directors across the world and then say real. Director implies fake. I don't know.
For many people, however, the concept of a liberated, inclusive form of porn is hard to imagine. How exactly can a filmmaker capture sexuality in such a raw form, and can it ever also be considered art?
Good question, and I want to bring this to you guys. Do you think porn should have storyline and romance and female empowerment of some sort? Or do you think porn should be what they are and go straight to fucking and abusing the living hell out of pretty much every gender on Earth? This is such a weird year. PORNGATE, good God. Before I end this video, huge thanks to Infected Rage LP for the pledge on Patreon. You are fantastic. That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead, click the like button, and subscribe for more. If you wish, you can support me on Patreon. And thanks for watching.